and welcome to another episode of Ask the Doc. I am your host, Jennifer Filzen, and today I have with me Cortney Warren. She's in Los Angeles, and she owns Choose Honesty LLC. Welcome, Cortney.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for waking up early. We East or West Coast girls, we have to wake up a little early for this show. Tell me about Choose Honesty and how you got into business and what how you're making the world a better place.
I am a clinical psychologist. And what I really realized as a researcher, as a clinician, is that the degree to which people can be honest with themselves is actually the degree to which they have the freedom to change their lives. That whether I'm working with a patient or teaching students or doing research, what I really find is that people stay stuck in their own deceptive illusions. And so I created this platform, Choose Honesty, to promote any messages that we can send people about the importance of being honest with yourself.
Wow, that is fascinating, right? I love the phrase, don't always believe everything you think, right? Um,
Yes.
because the world is made of illusions and such. And so tell me how you got into this and tell us more about that platform.
Well, I just wrote a book called Letting Go of Your Ex. And it really dives into some of the ways in which we lie to ourselves in romantic relationships that really, really cause problems for us. So, for example, when you fall in love, it's really an addictive process in which you create a fantasy worldview about who your lover is. They're the best. They're the most wonderful person you've ever met. They complete you. And a lot of these lies are very culturally reinforced. So we get a lot of messages socially, particularly on Valentine's Day, that you need someone else to complete you. And if you find this perfect person, you're going to be happy, fulfilled, wealthy, etc. And you start learning these messages from a really young age. But the degree to which you actually internalize them and believe them will hurt you because unfortunately, everybody is going to end up being really disappointing. And so this book is a cognitive behavioral framework of understanding addictive love. And a whole section of it is devoted to how to really challenge and change your thinking patterns and beliefs about the people that you date so that you have a more realistic view of who they are and who you are, and hopefully can create an actual authentic, bonded, loving connection with somebody else.
Wow, that's really fascinating. Okay. So I'm sure there's a background story to this, but I'm so curious because I think we've all had exes, right? When we're
Oh, yeah.
young and we fall in love, it might be for 2 weeks that you're like long-term relationship, right? And then as we get older and divorces and such. Um, and I have gone through it myself, right? I had I call it the starter marriage. I had the starter marriage. Now I'm living in the dream marriage. And I totally feel like I won the lottery of love with the dream marriage. And I'm 15 years later, I'm still absolutely thrilled, right? But you're right, like not everybody has that. So what are some of the tools that, if you could like share a nugget from your book on how people can get better about being honest with themselves?
Well, I think it helps to start with a framework that really embraces this idea that falling in love is an addictive process that will bring you into this fantasy elation experience with someone because it normalizes your experience of love, right? Because a lot of times when people fall in love and then break up, for example, maybe your first relationship or when you get divorced, you still stay stuck on your ex, and the disillusion related to the breakup is so profound because you built them up to be this wonderful, magical human. And you probably built the foundation of your marriage or of your relationship on some expectations and beliefs about them and about yourself that turned out to be lies, that turned out to be not really true. So Starting tidbit, note to self, falling in love will make you think things about your lover that are probably not true. Second recommendation I would have for people, particularly as you go through a relationship, you're going to move usually from a honeymoon phase where we all have been there probably, where you're madly in love, you're head over heels, you're thinking about them, you're craving them, you're obsessing over them, you're giddy and excited when you talk about them. And you move past that to hopefully a much more honest perspective on who they are and who you are. Things you like and don't like, things that are true of them that you didn't realize or couldn't acknowledge when you were in this honeymoon phase. And if it's a really healthy relationship with the potential of lasting for a long time, what you will learn about the person, you also will try to accept and not necessarily change about them. You will say, oh, you know what? They're not really this perfect human. None of us are, but they have all these attributes and qualities that I admire and respect and love. And they have some things that I really don't like that much. And that's okay. I still actively choose to be with them. Or they have all these qualities that I really don't like, and I don't think I should choose to be with them. Either way, having that awareness that your partner, your lover, actually is a very separate person from you. And to be able to see them for who they are and acknowledge what defines them, their values, their goals, their life aspirations, and seeing that as separate from you will really, really help you make choices over time that lead to a relationship that you really want to be in and not attached to somebody who probably isn't necessarily healthy for you.
Mm. Wow, so profound. I love it. I love it. So, how do people find your book?
It just went online February 1st. So it literally just came out. It's right behind me, Letting Go of Your Ex. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or
Congratulations.
thank you
Yeah,
so
okay.
much. My publisher's website, New Harbinger, any of those sources.
Fantastic. Oh, I love it. Books are a wonderful thing, aren't they? And I'm so proud
So
of you for
wonderful.
writing. Is this your first book or is this a second or third?
It is not my first, but I was a tenured professor and I really built a lab at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, studying sociocultural aspects of learning. So how the environment that we grow up in influences our eating behavior, our body image, our romantic relationships, our expectations. And so the large majority of my research and writings is in peer-reviewed journal articles, but this is my second book and it is aimed at the public. It's the first self-help book I've ever written. So it really is meant to be as if you were sitting in my office with me, struggling in a relationship, struggling after a breakup, and trying to find yourself again, getting unstuck from those self-deceptive tendencies and really the cycle of heartache that you get into or can get into when you're going through a brutal breakup that is really, really painful.
Wow. Oh, I love it. I love what you're doing. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on Ask the Doc. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Cortney Warren as well as I did. Please, if you want to find out more about her and her Choose Honesty LLC, please go to Buzz TV at iwannabuzz.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.